stadium lights, the free buzz before halftime. My heart racing like it's 4th and 5 on a Midwest Saturday night.
Welcome back to Mizzou Storytellers. I'm Loretta Jones.
And I'm Dave Matter. Good job.
Thank you. That's the first time that I've done it. I was very nervous.
It's like you didn't know the name of our podcast.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that when you do something enough or you're around something enough, it just becomes natural. And so you always do it. So I don't really pay attention to what you say.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm listening for. I'm like, oh, I'm just like,
Your
then
cue.
I say my name and then we keep going.
Why don't we let Steve say his name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Steve.
My name's Jen.
Steve Sowers here. How you doing?
Okay. I'm going to really try to get through today's podcast without touching my mic. That's my goal for the day.
Yeah, we
I don't know if
apologize to everybody that was dealing with Dave.
Yeah, and it was like a nervous tick. I don't know why I was.
And then you just couldn't stop.
I don't know. It's like.
Believe it or not, the microphone picks up a lot of noise.
Yeah, go figure. Yeah, I realized that when I listened back to the Henry episode. What is that awful noise? Oh, it's me handling the microphone.
I don't know. I think we'll be pretty engaged in today's conversation.
I would think so.
I would hope that you would completely forget about your mic and just listen. And
we have. It's kind of there's some pressure today because we have an experienced podcaster joining us.
I know.
Very true. Very true. I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited because he has talked to some really cool people.
Yeah, it's like when Dave Letterman would have like Jay Leno on as a guest. It's like there's a really dated reference there.
Jay Leno.
Tonight's top 10.
Headline. Was it headlines? Is that what he would do when he put the?
Jay Leno.
He put like actual newspaper on a poster board and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big Jay Leno fan.
Back in my day.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good conversation.
Let's bring him in.
Yep.
Let's do it. He's a Tiger. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's a 2-time SEC East champ. He's a Pro Bowler. He's a podcaster. He's going to be an SEC legend. He's Mitch Morse, and he's today's guest on Mizzou Storytellers. That might be the longest intro we've ever had.
You've said it like 3 times in a row now.
Wow, coming in hot on a Friday.
I think it's the best one we've had.
But it's all it's all true. It's all well deserved. Welcome,
true.
Mitch.
Hey guys, that was one heck of an introduction. I appreciate it.
Wasn't
What
that
a
nice?
studio we got set up here.
Hey.
I was telling you, I love the this arm contraption here is very conducive for flowing through the space. So I appreciate you guys having me on.
Last week we had Henry Josie on, and we decided he was the fastest guest we've had on. Mitch might be the biggest.
What about Drake Heismeyer? He's
He's much bigger than Drake. Drake was a very undersized offensive lineman.
We're talking
I don't know.
Yeah.
robust.
His beard's bigger for sure.
I have no chin, smaller chin, bigger beard. It's kind of the staple. Although I did make a wager with a buddy of mine who's on the Chiefs. His name is Creed Humphreys. He's a center.
Yeah.
He's an Oklahoma grad. And I wagered that if Missouri wins the Oklahoma-Missouri game coming up, not this weekend, the ensuing, that he would have to give me a Creed Humphreys game-worn jersey that says "M-I-Z Go Tigers." And if Missouri loses, I have to shave everything except my mustache. But it turns out the SEC Legends thing is less than 2 weeks after that. So I might be looking a little bit silly, but I think the boys might. I think the boys might fire up for the
Is
kid.
this the first that Caitlin's heard of this bet?
No, she knows.
Oh, okay.
She knows.
I think she thinks it's not true.
No, she knows it's unfortunately very true.
So you'd keep the mustache but shave the beard?
Yeah.
You could be like a Civil War reenactor.
Well, I'll tell you what's very phallic-y. Me not having the chin, I have no chin. It's just kind of goes.
Are you gonna like something like that beard wax? And
the nice thing is
the
mustache has grown in quite a bit, and I'm working it a little bit, making sure there's something there. But I think the boys are gonna pull it out. So
I feel pretty good about it.
I do too.
So I
Dave?
look forward
Yeah,
to
no, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, there's no guess. We're going to mention one of your former teammates, but I was a little perturbed last week on College Game Day when the guest picker, he called out Mizzou fans, and then he went ahead and picked his Red Raiders to win anyway. Not his Red Raiders. His who did we play last week?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. He was at Texas Tech. That's what I'm saying.
That was
Patrick Mahomes.
1 week ago. I figured that's who you were talking about.
Yes.
That's how it alienates some of your fans.
I know. He apologized, but then he gave it anyway. And I'm not going to do the voice impression like
It's too late to apologize.
But yeah, it turns out he was right. Okay, so
let's hop in and talk about Mitch.
Well, welcome
Speaking,
back.
speaking
you
of the
very
state
much.
of Texas,
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, depending on when you listen to this, you either are going to or you will have hit Big Mo before
That's right.
the Mississippi State game, the home finale, senior day. Now, how many have you been back to a game or many games since you were?
I think I've been back to 2 of them.
Yeah, on bye weeks.
Yeah,
you know,
so
while you were playing.
so we played a Monday, or we played a Monday night game and then a Thursday night game the ensuing week, my rookie year. So came back for week 3 or 4 of the college season, and then in 2018 we all came down for a game. But I haven't seen a game day since 2018.
Oh wow.
So I'm very excited to, and the good Lord bless us with some tremendous weather.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Unless he deems this podcast unworthy. he will
no,
hell on
it's
us.
like I said, we're in the middle of what we call fall spring.
Yeah, I
So,
dig it super
yes.
hard. It's great. Beautiful weather. The campus looks stunning. It's fun to be back.
I know you walked around the construction site. What do you think of the palace that is being built on
I
the
love
north
it.
concourse?
I think it's conducive for the scale and scope of college football now, which is kind of the Wild West in certain aspects. But part of it is just kind of, implementing new things, keeping up with the Joneses to a certain extent, and I think it's going to look stunning. I
Yeah.
mean, as long as they bring the M back, which I know they're going
They
to.
put, they
Come on
put it
back.
up.
Oh, they put it
It's on
back.
The, yep,
See?
it's on
You
the
got a
little-
baby M this week.
Yeah, it's just a little baby M on the sideline.
Oh, because you need it for
The
the
seniors.
fellas.
Seniors.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
that when they win, they get to
Yeah,
go get their
excellent,
rock.
excellent.
Where do you keep yours?
I keep it in the front lawn of the house. In fact, it's not so white anymore. We got to repaint it. It's just a giant rock. Kind of just, we try to explain it, and people are like, all right.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Doesn't make
Yeah.
much sense in Florida.
I mean, yeah, there's rocks in Florida, but not giant ones that people keep in the front. Yeah, it's great. We and you got to kind of think about what rock you're going to grab, because
Yeah.
it's kind of sexy to grab the biggest rock you have, but then you have a big rock and
Right. What do you do
that you
with
have
it?
to that you have to parent.
Weird.
So this thing is, I mean, it's not quaint, but it's got some substance to it.
We're gonna come full circle at the end of this podcast. By the way, just put a pin in that.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Love that.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yeah, going through all of your accolades and everything that you've done, I think we've got a pretty hearty conversation ahead of us to talk about your football career.
I love that.
We like to dive all the way back to. Why are you sitting like that?
I have to because the mic is so high.
Want to dive back to how you got started in football?
Yeah.
Like, was it all the sports, and then you ended up focusing on football, or I mean, in Texas, it's kind of required that you play football, correct?
Depending on where you are, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely there's definitely an abundance of football down there. I didn't start playing tackle football till high school,
Okay.
and it wasn't because my parents were trying to. They might have. They said that I was a fairly sensitive child, and that they were afraid that if I got hit too early, I'm still fairly sensitive, that it might not be conducive for me playing further. But high school started playing. I was smaller, so you kind of fit in. Everyone thinks they want to play the sexy positions like receiver.
You were a tight end, right?
I was a tight end, receiver, and punter. My net punting average was about 10 yards, and I caught two passes. And then it was kind of like one of those cliche movies that you're around, which is like, as fun as being. And then I moved to JV quarterback, and I was like, this is all great, but I'd really like to play on Friday.
Yeah.
So I made the very lateral move from JV quarterback to left tackle for the varsity.
Classic story.
And it worked out pretty well. I enjoyed it, and had a great coach. It's a smaller school, so private schools down in Texas are a little bit different than they are pretty much everywhere else, which is that they play their own league. It's a little bit smaller. If we play the public schools, we get waxed. And there's a few that, like, there's only probably 2 or 3 in Texas that are these huge private schools that play in the public schools. But, the smaller school, I thought, gave me an opportunity to develop a little bit in regards to not being you got to get developed by being thrown in the fire a bit, and there weren't that many bodies that we had to play. It wasn't like a super small school, but it worked out great. I played left tackle, and then just kind of things fell into place. And my favorite sport was basketball, by far. I love basketball. I wasn't going anywhere with basketball, but if I still we have a little hoop next to our house that the kids go play. I shoot around, and but yeah, football was. I find that every step I took in football was just kind of a happy coincidence. I had no visions of grandeur playing in college. I had no visions of grandeur playing in the NFL. It was just these opportunities, thankfully, presented themselves, rather. And and looking at it now, it's kind of a wild deal.
Yeah. That is crazy. I mean, and you came up in the time that there was a nice little pipeline that had been created
Totally.
to the state
Yeah.
of Texas, from Texas to Missouri. So how did Coach Pinkel find you?
Well, Brian Jones, he's about a 6'7" Jamaican running backs coach, had Austin, Texas, and he same frequency as me, just super cool, very kind, and then I didn't have many offers. Missouri was actually my first offer. I'd gone on a few trips. Like my grandmother was actually Barry Switzer's first ever football secretary.
Oh my gosh.
So I had a very big interest in Norman. I did not end up going there, of course, but didn't get really much interest. But Barry Switzer, there's a fun Barry Switzer story. Talking to my grandmother about me actually being able to play football, and he thought it was just some sort of kind gesture he was doing to his old secretary. And turns out I could. And then Stanford, and then Vanderbilt. Just because I originally got into football recruiting, thinking I could get somewhere academically that I might not have just purely on academic merit. And then they were kind of like, no, why don't you push the envelope a little bit? And Missouri took a chance, and I think they were pleased to see how actually tall I was. I think Missouri did a great job of their whole thing was, we'll build, if you got the frame, we'll build it up. So I fell in love. It was kind of a sunny day like this. People were walking around. I'm sure Katie and the gals were walking around looking pretty good. And I was like, this place is awesome.
I mean, volleyball players always look good.
Yeah, that's true. And it just turned out like I got my first offer. They offered it, and I felt comfortable. It's kind of a little bit different than the recruiting nowadays. So I took my first offer, and I think the spring of my junior year, and I fell in love, and I'd do it all over again if I could. If I had to.
I found your recruiting profile. Yes, it says your top choices were Stanford, besides Missouri, Stanford, TCU, Vanderbilt, and then it's got this school to the west of us with a little bird.
Yeah.
Oh, Kansas, yeah.
We're not going to discuss.
My grandfather, yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, you didn't go there, thankfully,
that's true.
which is
The Morses are actually, a lot of us are buried about 20 miles outside of Lawrence.
really.
A place called DeSoto, Kansas. It's a little suburb. So proximity-wise, they grew up Kansas fans, and then, of course, Oklahoma fans when my grandmother worked there. So
Okay, that's better than living there.
It is.
Yeah.
That is true.
yeah. Although my brother-in-law,
I know.
my brother-in-law Stephen Carberry, who's an ex-Missouri Tiger, offensive
Yeah.
lineman, one of my best buddies. He's got a great gig in Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's got a great gig with the
know.
football team. He's a great dude. As much as I want to hate on him,
He is a
he's
great
brought me
dude.
over there a few times, and it's more of a lukewarm feeling now than hate.
Yeah.
You know. Although I do think there's some good hate.
And
brought
I
back out
do
in
like
the-
Steve,
the
so I
crowd.
give him.
Steve's the man.
I give him a little bit of grace. When it
Steve's
comes to that,
Steve's the man. So
I actually acknowledged his presence when they came here and played. And
you
I said
still
hi,
gotta
and-
beat him up a little bit.
Of course.
Some mental and not so much physical warfare. We're in our 30s, but mental warfare against.
No, but when they post pictures of their children wearing KU stuff, and I ask if all of the Mizzou stuff is dirty.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they got it at the house. I can attest. So they have plenty of Missouri stuff, and you got to do your job.
I
You got to do
know.
it, and he's got a great gig. So I think he's an assistant
And he's
AD
doing
there now.
And he's doing really well. And
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
I know they're
That's
getting
for
good
Kansas,
grades and
but
stuff. Because
yeah,
of
they're
him.
doing
I
well.
don't-
They're
yeah.
doing well. He's doing great. He's doing well. I know.
Are we done talking about Kansas?
I did. We're talking about Steve Carberry.
I know.
Yeah.
Steve's a good guy. So you were in the 09 recruiting class?
That's right. Yeah.
So on the heels of those 07, 08 years. So
Oh, yeah.
you came here, Missouri was in a pretty good spot under Coach Pinkel.
Yeah.
Did you expect, most offensive linemen do red shirt. Was that kind of the plan going in? And did you have a vision for how you were going to fit in?
No, I was just, I didn't know. It was kind of going back on that happy circumstance. I didn't know. I'm not going to cuss on this, but I didn't know very much, and I had a lot of growing to do, and that frame needed work, and Pat Ivy molded it through the breaking of bones and spirit the best way. I attribute most of my success to that kind of, Coach Pinkel's, first of all, competitive nature, but also like we're going to grow by competition in our program, but also through Pat Ivy was the best at what he did, in my opinion, and kind of the cutting edge of that. So, no, I didn't. I just kind of went with the flow. Played guard, I think, when I first got here, and the fun thing was, as seniors, they kind of for our last that bowl game, they bring out some old tape, And I got to tell you, I looked like trash. we were at the Insight Bowl in Arizona, and it was fun. But no, I had no intention, or I had every intention, but no idea what was going to go down.
Yeah.
Well, and you said you came from a small school. You
Yeah.
played other small schools. What do you remember about when you first got here? Like, what was the shock? What was the culture shock like?
Oh,
Like, what?
Well, I think just the kind of the low-hanging fruit is that these guys were just. I remember just feeling like these were men in this locker room when I was still a small child. But Katie and I were talking about, my wife who's here, just kind of the difference in, different sports having built-in friend groups, right? Like a volleyball team, their class might only be 4 or 5 girls at the most, whereas we come in with 15 or 20 dudes.
Crazy.
It's really conducive for being able to lean on each other, and the turnover wasn't as crazy because of NIL wasn't really a thing. So if you left, it was kind of this big deal. But I remember just I think just the size of guys, the speed, overall just football knowledge, acumen, lingo, everything was such an adjustment. But with that kind of came some just grace.
Mm-hmm.
Like the expectation was to grow. There was no expectation for me to step in and do anything, so that was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. And at what point then they tried you at center? Was that your redshirt freshman
It was
year?
my redshirt freshman year, yeah.
How did that go, Mitch?
Well, Dave, it went.
There's a happy ending to the story.
I mean, you went on to become the highest paid center in NFL history.
It went pretty well.
So it ended up well.
Well, no, so truly, I think center, it went pretty well because it gives you an opportunity to learn the big picture of stuff. Mm-hmm. And even in college, I kind of dumb it down, but it's still this great learning experience. You kind of have to be tapped into what everyone's doing to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. I feel like our quarterbacks were at 7 or 8 yards deep, and I used to sail that effing ball down there. And, it was great, but the nice thing was when you do so poorly at something that they try to move you. So they moved me my sophomore year because we had injuries.
Oh, Mitch, look, we found a spot for you over
and
here.
it worked out at tackle. That being said, there were a few games where I was able to put together something, and it gave an opportunity when the NFL came knocking that there was at least something to look at, and there was at least something, well, this guy can somewhat do it. We'll figure it out. The snapping thing, we'll figure it out. You do a few thousand, you kind of get it down, honed in. But, so it went from center, and then end of my sophomore year, we were just ravished with injuries, truly. Mm-hmm. And I was stinking up the place with my snaps. So we moved me out to right tackle and then stayed there. And then senior year, kind of what Pinkel did was just move guys around, which I thought was great. And then ended up at left tackle, which was smooth. Yeah, It was cool. Yeah, center kind of sucked first.
Yeah. Man. That was.
Isn't that right, Dave?
I might have written about it a few times. Sorry, only because I knew it was going to end so well.
Yeah,
at some
that's
point,
right. That's right.
Or
That's
evolve
right.
so
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But that offensive line, when you think about it, it's still fun to think about. There's still that graphic that gets posted all the time of the 5 of you guys.
Yeah.
And to think it was a really good college offensive line,
Yeah.
no doubt. I mean, it was kind of the heartbeat of that 13 team. But then the fact that 4 of you went on to not only play in the NFL, start in the NFL,
Yeah.
you all end up being centers,
Right.
which is kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is such a weird coincidence. A lot of us had short arms, so we all got thrown into that thing. But you look at the 2013 team. I mean, we had great senior leadership with some of those guys. I think of guys like LaDamian Washington, among many other dudes. It was an extremely competitive offseason we came in through. It was a very disappointing 2012. It was the first time in a very long time Pinkel hadn't made a bowl game.
Yeah.
So all we did was just come back. Pat Ivy had us, did some molding, more molding. And then I just remember those conditioning, that summer conditioning and that fall training camp were so competitive. And it was just like that beautiful cusp of just like almost it was aggressive.
Yeah.
Right. And it was physical, aggressive, but it was you reached that point where it was almost detrimental, but it was conducive for going. It was uncomfortable to go to practice.
Yeah.
In the best way. And we just had some dudes out there, and especially a defensive line that made us offensive linemen so much better.
Yeah.
through trial by combat and made us some really fun spring games, and we've dreaded Saturday scrimmages because we those boys were humming on the edge. But what it really did was it made us a tight knit group, and we gelled together, and it was great. And I really enjoyed that season, and it's been really fun to kind of get that offensive line its dues. It was a bunch of guys who had decided to grow out their hair, kind of be disgusting, hippie, kind of just looking, smell. You could smell us through the photos, man, like we did. And, but it was great. It was us, and it was a really fun group of dudes. All 5 of us completely different.
Yeah.
All 5 of us had our moments against
From
each
all
other.
different parts of the country. Had Connor McGovern up from the Dakotas, Evan Boehm from here in Missouri, Mitch, Justin Britt we just mentioned, and then Max Copeland, who was like the character of the group.
Yeah, he was the energy injection into that whole thing. Max, he doesn't get the flowers he deserves in regards to just our overall competitiveness and camaraderie. He's one of my best friends, best man at my wedding.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Completely different looking dude.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the vacancy in his nose no longer being there, he's great, man. His kids he's got such a, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Great dude, man.
You guys were like TikTok stars before there was TikTok too.
Yeah, we were.
They would make these videos every week, then like the fans, and then put them on Twitter. It was still like the infancy of social media, but
It was.
you guys were wild.
It was called Christmas Thursdays.
Yeah.
We'd go. We'd watch. For some reason, Pinkel had us in here at like 9 o'clock on Thursdays watching film. And Justin's wife, I think they might have been married early back then, but she would make us these little pies, and we get there and we would just blare Christmas music, and do some freaky dances. And it got
remember
to
this?
It got to
Where
a
were
point.
you?
No, I don't remember this. Where would I have been in my life
It
at
got
that
to a
point?
point in 2013.
I would have been in grad school in Kansas City.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you might have missed it.
It made no sense, and there was no explanation for it.
Good.
It was just
Yeah.
like, what is this? Oh, here it is.
A bunch of stinky fellas doing some jumping jacks and doing some freaky stuff. I will say that it got to a point where Coach Henson, God, I love him. It's one of my favorite, but he thought it was getting more than the team. And there was like a news truck outside one day, but it wasn't for us. It was for the traffic. And he came into us thinking we had like called the news, reamed us a new one. And so we kind of, and this is when I knew we were like a good, because we kind of took it on the chin, and we went in and we're like, dude, F that, we're going to the indoor. And we did. We went to the indoor, we put in one of our cars, and now I can't imagine doing that, the embarrassment, but it was kind of just, it worked. It was fun. It was a group of fellas that just liked to put on Christmas music. It was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm more likely to just go ahead and embarrass myself in public. Mostly because I'm trying to embarrass my kids.
There's
Without
less
a
of a
doubt.
stigma now.
Yeah.
That's
it
my
seems
favorite
like.
thing is to embarrass my children.
They were groundbreakers. Is that the
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We were.
Trailblazers.
Trailblazers?
Yes.
Yeah. Hygiene was not our.
We talked about that. we talked about that season with Henry last week, Henry Josie, and like I think in all sports sometimes the most fun seasons are the ones that nobody sees coming. And I'm sure you guys believed you were
No,
good.
we didn't see that coming. No.
But I don't think anybody saw 12 wins.
Yeah.
Coming off of
That was nuts.
2012, second
Yeah.
year in the SEC. Man, what a ride.
It was so much fun. I think of that as one of my fondest years of football, more than my senior year, just because we really had a fun group. Like I had attested to earlier, that senior leadership we had in that team was awesome. And we kind of gotten our tails kicked the year before.
Yeah.
No one really gave us a chance, and we all kind of liked the fact that it was just us versus everyone. Even to the very end, no one kind of gave us our dues, which was cool. No one really cared. I never really believed in kind of thinking about disrespect as some sort of thing, and I don't think we did. We just we knew that was a narrative, but we really just kind of kept it. The best teams I've been around just really don't care about anything anyone says except what's in that locker room and what's going on. And it's harder nowadays with social media and stuff, but we just really cared for each other, and it was so much fun. Even that loss against South Carolina. I mean, like what an experience to feel that energy in a stadium.
Yeah.
Like to have that senior night where we're going to go. I mean, that Texas A&M game with Johnny Manziel on the heel, on his Heisman. It was just like it was so palpable. And when he broke that touchdown run with I think like 2:40 left, we had just broken the 50-yard line, and he broke that thing off, and it was just like you could feel the stadium shaking.
Yeah.
And then anytime the fans rush the field, right? Like I just remember it felt like this wave of booze that hit. I can only imagine now with beer being sold at the stadium, right? Like
a little different.
it's a little different, but it was so much fun. That year, I will hold that. And Max, weirdly, he looked disgusting. He looked gross. And we somehow won that Cotton Bowl at like after 8 hours of gameplay. He shaved his beard off. We all went out there. He threw it on the 50-yard line. We did some
beard?
dance. Yeah, it was awesome.
He did that?
Yeah, it was
I don't
great.
remember that.
It was great. Yeah.
Probably long after we were
Yeah.
media was out.
It was like 3 in the morning when that game ended. It was crazy.
It was a long game.
It was a long game.
God, like
yeah.
all of these stories about how disgusting everything was really makes me question how Katie found you and stayed with you.
I think just love is a weird. Love works in mysterious. The Lord and love work in very strange places and medians. Yeah, she saw through it all somehow. It was cool.
Man. No, one of my favorite questions to ask athletes who are here around that era, athletes and coaches, and we've done it on here before, is what was the transition like for you from the Big 12 to the SEC? What was that like as an athlete, and how did that change the mentality in, like training or prepping for games, and just what was the change in the culture?
That's a great question. One of the things that I really appreciated was we didn't change how we trained, what we did. We kind of they established that this is the standard regardless of where we are. We were elated, especially for football.
Right.
I mean, I think some sports probably suffered, like wrestling, right? They had to, like, that's not fair, right? And some other sports, right? But a lot of us, it was a lateral move. A lot of sports is a lateral move, and even to greater stakes, right? Like, of course, I would have loved to play in Darrell K. Royal Stadium in Texas, right? But you get to play in the swamp, and then you get to go between the hedges. It was electric. And even though we got our tails kicked in, we still got to go to Neyland Stadium right off the water in Tennessee and have that 4 overtime game and just feel it. You could feel the energy, and it was really fun. I was a nervous Nelly just in general, but it was cool. I enjoyed the heck out of the SEC. It was awesome.
And eventually that team, I felt like, and Gary kind of led this, you embraced being in those environments instead of like being intimidated. It was like, I remember him saying like that was a turning point for him when he realized like, hey, we get to do this. Let's not be intimidated by it or it's a negative thing. And then all of a sudden you guys started winning those road games, and
No doubt.
first and only Mizzou team to win at Georgia still in 2013. You guys
That was a
did
fun.
that day.
That was a fun. I don't know if it was during the SEC, but my time here, we enjoyed playing away almost more than we enjoyed playing at home, just because it was get these experiences, and we as a team really enjoyed, like I talked about, just kind of being like us versus the world. It's nothing we talked about, but it really is conducive when you have those moments for a team to come together. Any sport, any facet of life, like that was the stuff you live for. And then winning on the road, this party on the plane, that transcends any league, any phase of sport, any level of sport. Like that is, you bottle that up, you'd be a billionaire. You saw that in a pill form. Truly, it was the best.
So what point in your time here, because you said everything kind of happened, it was like happenstance, like just a happy coincidence. At what point were you like, maybe I could make it in the league? Like maybe that's a reality for me. I'm going to enter the draft and I could actually do this.
Well, I was skeptical until the day they called, to say the least. But what you do is sometimes if you're a really good sophomore, you can do this. But as a junior, you kind of, I don't know if it's still the same thing, but you get this piece of paper. It's to the, I don't know, some third party or maybe even scouts, right? Your name, school, and then what games you think most kind of that you perform the best in that might relate to these scouts thing, and then they kind of put in and they give you a draft grade. Okay. And so usually you just get like stay in school, and mine was stay in school with like a caveat, which was like you got something here, you should stay in school.
Okay.
And to even get you got something here was kind of cool. But I'll tell you, when I just like, there was a while where I was very conscientious of it, like the scouts come to the games, and it never boded well for me. And then actually Evan Boehm came up to me, which kind of pissed me off because this was a really good piece of advice. And I love Evan, but I was just like, fuck, he's right. Excuse my language. But he was like, hey, man, you play your best football when you just like pretend like no one's here.
Yeah.
Just us and the dudes. Like, I can tell it's freaking you out. He was right. And then when you just kind of let go, you give up the keys and you just say, what's interesting was Brett Veach had come up to this in Kansas City when he became the GM. he was like, hey, let's get through this third year, and after your third year, you can re-up. And I broke my foot. And after that, going into my fourth season, I came back healthy. He's like, hey, we're just going to, this is the beginning of the year. It's like, we don't have enough funds to re-sign you. We're just kind of going to let you do your thing. Pretty much saying, this is your last year here.
Right.
And how liberating that was. If of course, there's that guttural thing, but it's very liberating. We just kind of let the chips fall in May, focus on, it's all the cliche stuff your coach says, right? Like just enjoy the moment, all that stuff. But it's freeing. And I feel like those years were very lateral ways of thinking, and it really worked out well for both of them. Yeah.
When the Chiefs drafted you, then did they tell you day one? Did Andy Reid say you're going to be a center for us, or how did you? Is that kind of what you were auditioning as when you're going through all the workouts and everything?
Well, I saw they put me as a center being drafted, but yes, a lot of teams had been interested in me being able to snap the football. No, I mean he's. Dude, the Chiefs and Coach Reid's so calculated in the best way. Like he's just gonna, no expectations. He's not gonna say one thing or another. He's just gonna give you opportunities to compete. And so I played a lot of guard when I first got there, and then even going into training camp, I moved to center, but second team until you could prove you're being the first team.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those things that you kind of understand, you being drafted in a certain round, there's expectations for you to contribute to a certain extent. And then, I mean, talk about trial by fire with a pliable 22-year-old body. Thousands of reps, it felt like. Those training camps in Kansas City are nuts. But it's conducive for good football. It really is. And it kind of worked itself out in the same way that it worked itself out in Missouri.
And you started as a rookie. So was there a moment in camp where they're like, you're our guy? Or I can't remember exactly how that developed.
That's a good so second week of training camp, it was probably 10 days out before the first preseason game. They made the move. It was one of those things like, hey, we're going to try you out for a day or two here.
Yeah.
And then they just never flipped me back. It was kind of like their way of saying, this is your opportunity to blow. So it's up to you. And it worked out. I mean, there was still some huge learning curves, and they were very patient. I'm pretty sure I kept the coaching staff up a few nights just with like, is this football competence there enough to play? I had a very veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
But they were very patient, and there were some sleepless nights my rookie year myself, but that's just kind of what you have to do, in my opinion, to grow, is you have to be uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah, Alex Smith was a quarterback. Backup was one Chase Daniel. Is that right?
Chase,
your rookie
that's
year?
right. I got drafted, and Chase and Jeremy were there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I did have a little bit of help. Chase was great. Jeremy was great, too. It was cool.
And then a couple years later, they draft Mahomes.
Yeah.
And he's the backup his first year. But then you got 1 year with him?
I got 1 year with him. Yeah, his first year starting, he ended up winning MVP.
Yeah.
Pretty good quarterback. Yeah, he can play football.
He's not bad.
It's fun. We were all along for the ride. I've said it 1,000 times. No one saw that coming. We saw he was a great quarterback, sure, but I mean, the guy was just electric. You'd look, because when you're in the game, you're so enthralled with what you're doing, but then you look at the stats afterwards, and you're like, oh my goodness. And his first few weeks, I think we ended up averaging like 40-something points a game.
Yeah.
It was
pretty nuts.
crazy. It was cool. It's great.
When you're an offensive lineman and you're blocking for a quarterback like that, or any quarterback, you kind of have like the worst seat in the house because you can't see everything he's doing. Your back's to him.
Yeah.
So was that where you go back and when you're watching film, you're like, I can't believe he did that. Like, did that happen a lot with him?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes you could hear the football, just the way it popped and the way it kind of, it's not like a Nerf ball where it whistled, but it definitely has a sound where that thing is humming. And, I mean, more than anything, you realize that when he bails you out of you messing up, like if you have a front seat to the quarterback, that means your back is not where it's supposed to be. You're looking at him, the guy trying to kill your quarterback. But yes, to your point, after the games, we're watching film, or even just like the flow. And again, anyone in sport, like you can say, sometimes this thing's just flowing. Yeah. I feel like I can do nothing wrong. Like we can't do anything wrong. We were in flow state a lot that year. Like, he was flowing, dude. It was cool. It was so much fun to be a part of.
And you talk about playing in really cool environments, and talk about all the SEC stadiums. And I grew up in Kansas City. I've been to Arrowhead plenty of times. This is a very random question. I'm sorry for this. I have never understood, in a really loud stadium like that, how do you hear anything on the field? How do you hear each other? How do you hear the snap? How do you hear the call? Like,
well, if you're, it's more of a issue when you're an opposing player, right? You know, the loudest the fans gets when the opposing team's on. You implement something called a silent count, which is something you can do if you can't hear anything. And there's different ways of silent count. Kansas City was different than Buffalo. Buffalo is different than Jacksonville. But I mean, that huddle, it gets very intense. Like there is something to, you know, everyone gets in there, and to a certain extent, things kind of quiet down.
Yeah.
You do kind of mute it. The thing it comes to an issue is on the line, kind of adjustments, a lot of nonverbals, and that's when you just kind of have to put in the fact, like, this is your job. We've done thousands of walkthrough reps, and then it is up to the quarterback to get a little hoarse. You know, I can't hear you, dude. You better bust your ass yelling at me.
Yeah.
You know? So that's a great question. It is kind of different per place and per stadium. But
I've just always been curious. I think about even here at Fro Field when it gets super, super loud, and I'll be down on the sideline, and I can't hear the person standing next to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are they hearing anything out there on the field?
Well, huddle looks bigger than it actually is. When everyone puts their head in, no one's farther away from each other. The quarterback's in this table, I would say, right here.
Okay.
And then there is kind of that frequency that you hit. And you see guys leaning in. Like, you gotta be cognizant of just key words, and then there's no secrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't hear it, get in the quarterback's face and say, "What the hell did you just say?"
Yeah.
And then he might yell at you, but like, there's nothing to. I've always said this even when I was an older guy with rookies. Like, I might have a certain tone. I might transfer information a certain way. I'll be your biggest fan. Love you on the sideline. I just got to get the point across.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just got to get the point across sometimes.
So when you kind of alluded to this, but you hit free agency then after 2018.
Yeah.
And it's to Buffalo. Did you have a lot of options? What led you there? Like, why was that the best fit for you?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of money.
Yeah, we know.
There's a lot of money. It immediately became the best option. No, but it was
appreciate your
cool.
candor.
That's the truth. And that second contract, you have to cash in.
Yeah.
You have to be cognizant. You have to take care of, this is, you have to take care of your family, per se, right? I was very fortunate that Pat got me paid, in my opinion. This is the truth. So that second free agency, right when that window opened, was a very fun few hours.
Yeah.
Money's being talked about. Your management is the intermediary between telling you what's going on. Different teams are offering different things, and then, Buffalo offered a bunch of money and they front loaded it. So it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, I'd seen a rookie Josh Allen kind of do some freaky cool things, but kind of another instance where no one really knew what we were walking into.
Yeah.
And man, I was just so happy because you kind of have to chase the cheese if you haven't chased it. And then you kind of pray that everything follows suit.
Right.
And just for the stars to align that perfectly was awesome. It was cool.
Well, and I know you've been asked this 100 times.
The similarities between Josh and Pat.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, that question I've been asked a bunch.
Well,
this
that's
one-
not even on the list. We're,
It's not, I
we're
didn't
too
even
original
have
for that.
All right, sorry.
I'm not going to ask it now because now I feel like it would be forced.
They're very similar. There we go.
No, that as soon as you left, the dynasty began.
Oh yeah.
Like how?
Jeez, go back to the other one.
How did that feel?
No. It's. Again, a lot of money helps.
Yeah.
But I was speaking at a engagement for Coach Reed in May because Brian Nooner, who's well established here,
Yeah.
he does kind of some Special Olympics Missouri stuff, and him and Coach Reed have a very good relationship dating back to the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
So Coach Reed knew my background with my brother and asked me to come out. And now that I don't play for a team, it's cool. So I went out there, and I even said in my speech, I was like, it was great. It was just there must have been some sort of addition by subtraction. And the great thing was, like, the amount of times it wasn't great. It sucked. It pissed me off. But just how many times, like, I could have just caught a bus home after the playoff loss back down to Overland Park. No, what's great is you see you still are so involved, and just from relationship basis, like you see your friends do well. Sure, I would like a Super Bowl. It's not part of my script.
Right.
When I did leave to go to Jacksonville, and Buffalo was like 5 minutes away from going to a Super Bowl last year, I was like, why me, God? There's got to be some sort of freaky correlation.
You
But
just
no,
don't get them to where they need to be.
Nah, not really. No,
and they saved all this cash by
Yes.
you leaving
Yes.
that they were able to build a
no,
Super Bowl
they still
winner.
find a way to spend that cash.
I'm
no,
trying.
well, you're a depreciating asset by the time you much like a car, right? When you drive them off the lot.
Yeah.
So, no, it was cool. I mean, it was definitely a long night because the fireworks were blasting off at home right outside my house. So that kind of sucked. And I definitely didn't go to bed sober. But I was watching the Super Bowl. Everyone has a few drinks.
Right.
Right.
But it was cool. Like I mean, you just know how much it meant to the guys,
Yeah.
and there was no hard feelings by any means of the imagination. I mean, do you feel like you missed out on a little bit? Sure, yeah. I mean, we were so close that year, 2018. I was walking on the field to kneel the ball to go to the Super Bowl, and it just didn't work out, right? But you get your chances. Everyone has a different script and kind of marches the beat of their own drum, and I'm very happy with my.
I was gonna say, did that fuel you in Buffalo?
No.
Like I was so close. Like
No.
I'm gonna do it again.
No, you just being a professional. It's kind of something that's super cheesy, but I've always prided myself on just even back here, just kind of doing your job, being a professional. Whatever being a professional dictates, right? It's very fluid. It changes throughout the day. It changes through the circumstance, right? But I always prided myself on being a professional, and that's why when people see like from Buffalo see me do this podcast, they're like, "This isn't you, right? You're joyous and happy and smiling." I'm like, "No, I didn't know how to be a professional, and this is my fault. I should have smiled." I told the guys, and I was like, "I wish I'd smiled." It's my my biggest regret as a professional is I wish I'd smiled more. I know it's a weird tangent, but it's the truth. Yeah.
Watching you from afar, though, your years in Buffalo, it just seemed like you fit there, though. Like just the culture.
Yeah.
It's a different market. It's not a big city. But it's all about the Bills, and just seemed like that was a natural place for you. How much did you love that experience of being there and being part of that?
Yeah, I mean, being a part of the team was so special. I mean, now it's kind of gotten its own. The Bills Mafia has kind of exploded in its own way, right?
Yeah.
But to be entrenched in that, it was still popular, but I feel like it's gotten a life of its own, right? To be a part of that, for them to accept you, is one of the greatest gifts in life. Truly, like it's such a unique experience. There's a few teams in the NFL that just have fan bases everywhere. I think of like a Packers or a Steelers or the Chiefs now, and Buffalo's right up there at the top, right? Like every away game's a home game, right? It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And it wasn't something I expected, but I cherish it. And when I go to bed at night, of course, as a professional, I don't dream of being a football player, but if I do, it's in a Bills uniform.
Oh, wow.
It's just how it is. Yeah, it was the best.
That's so cool.
Well, I mean, you put in the work. You were rewarded. You got your Pro Bowl selection.
That was like a
2022.
Make-A-Wish for an old guy. And I preface it by saying the Make-A-Wish Foundation's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I do
Right.
not shed any light. But I was like, year 8. I probably deserved it the year before if I deserved it.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it works with the Pro Bowl. Like if you're first round, you get probably a little more grace, or if you do something well the year before, if you do anything similar to that or don't mess it up, they give you the nod. But it was cool. I mean,
I was going to ask what that recognition meant to you, but
it was the
apparently-
it was so unique. I couldn't believe it. I was giddy, and you dream about, you don't dream about that kind of stuff truly, because you never think it'd be applicable to you.
Yeah.
I had made a few alternates, first, second alternates, but like to be actually asked to be one of the starters in that, I remember coming home and it was just one of those really cool moments. It was cool as hell.
How do they tell you? How do you find out?
They tell the team before.
Okay.
So the GM usually texts you, but I was actually out with a concussion, weird. And
What?
yeah, I don't know, that is strange. And I was sitting in the locker room, and the GM had told Josh. And so Josh comes up to me and goes, "Congratulations." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he tells me, and I'm in concussion protocol, so I think I'm super messed up. I'm like, "Oh no, I have to go back to phase 1 because I'm so concussed." But no, he told me, and it was just like one of those pure moments. I remember sitting there, him telling me that. It was really cool, and then I get to call my family and do that. And then I waited to tell her till I got home. So it was just a blissful moment. Truly, it was cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. You end your career in Jacksonville. What was that experience like? A little different than Kansas City and Buffalo,
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely.
to be they bring you in as a veteran. I mean, that part you're like a younger team, and
Yeah.
what'd you add to the mix there?
I don't know what I added. You know what's great is
Years of experience.
Yeah.
That's true. Just a curmudgeon at the end of his career, right? I will say, my wife had always joked that if you ever did go somewhere else besides Buffalo, and we had this candid conversation that once I got let go from Buffalo, if I wanted to play more, like all this stuff, and we felt like as a family, yes, truly. And she always joked before that happened that if you could go below a certain latitude, that'd be great because she's been freezing her tail off. And then it actually happens, and she doesn't bring it up at all. But in the back of my mind, I knew, right? So it was actually between Pittsburgh and Jacksonville, and I get released on a Tuesday, and Wednesday Mike Tomlin calls and it's like, hey, which is a wild way to wake up from a nap.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh wow, and he's like, hey, can you get on a flight this afternoon? So she's taking a nap too, and I had my bag packed. I'm like, I have a flight in 2 hours to go to Pittsburgh, and she's like, okay. And I'm kind of praying that I'm going to hate it, right? I pray to God I hate this place so I don't go, because it's only 3 hours south of Buffalo, so they're going to freeze.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember calling her after I visited. I'm like, I got terrible news for you. This place is awesome. But while I'm there, Jacksonville reached out to my agent and says, hey, we know he's around. Like, why don't you come down here? Jacksonville, Doug Peterson, who was my first offensive coordinator, is the head coach there. I always dreamed about playing for him. And so I go down there, and there's just something different in the air. You know, they just built this brand new facility. Trevor was very enticing to me. At the time, Pittsburgh didn't have a quarterback. I mean, they didn't have a quarterback there. I was in the same day as Russell Wilson was there, so that was kind of cool meeting him. But I decided that not only professionally but personally, I think it was the best move for our family. And then professionally, didn't end up the way we wanted to, but to kind of go home every day to a happy family pod, even though we weren't thriving, which had kind of been, I wouldn't say the inverse because they enjoyed their times everywhere they were, but there was definitely a different spark to the family being down there. So that was unique in itself. And if I had to do it over again, I would, knowing what I knew. Being a Pittsburgh Steeler would have been cool, but I'm proud of my time in Jacksonville. Of course, we wanted it differently, but I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Did you know when you took that Jacksonville spot, were you like, I got maybe 2 years left?
Yeah, I signed a 2-year deal.
Okay. And you were like, I there's no way I'm going to extend this. I'm not going anywhere else. Like, this is it.
This is it. And I knew it, exactly. And then, I mean, coincidentally, we're halfway through the season. I remember we were playing in London, and we had just gotten crushed by the Bears, and I played like trash. And I got an earful. Like, I deserved an earful. But where we were staying was right next to where they filmed Harry Potter at Harry Potter Studios. So I'm going through like Diagon Alley, and I'm like, man, I don't want to play football anymore. I just
want to be a wizard?
No, not even that. Not even that. And I remember I called my wife and had like a 4-hour conversation. It was our off day on Tuesday. And contractually, I'd signed a 2-year deal. But I'd prorated my signing bonus over 4 years. So technically, I'd owe 3/4 of that signing bonus back. And but I said, you know what? I know I'm done, but I'm not going to give it any more dues than it deserves, because then you kind of take away from what you're doing now. If that's in the back of your mind, it impedes your play. It puts the safety of your friends and yourself in harm's way. But after the season, I was just kind of, how am I going to tell this team without having? But they approached me, and they were very kind, and we both were very candid. And part of me thinks that they're like, hey, do you want to retire? Because if not, we're going to retire you. Because a whole new regime came in. But I thank Jacksonville so much, because they fiscally took care of me. They didn't make me claw back, which is awesome. But also they gave me the grace of being like, hey, we understand, like, this is a rebuild. I don't know, in year 11, do you want to go through a rebuild, right? Yeah. And I should have retired years ago, is what I tell people. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
Not really, but I'm really having fun, but not really retire early. But I'm having a blast.
Has there been a day? Have you flipped on a game and
not a single day goes by?
Yeah.
You do miss the party on the plane.
Yeah.
You miss that camaraderie, the built-in. It's infectious. It's so one of one. But physically, like, my elbows are so shot. Like, I couldn't perform. And then you catch glimpses of yourself on film. And you're like, who the hell's that guy? Oh my God, that's me. And that's just not what you want to do. And it's not helping the team. And it's just, you're going in there and it's just like, it's the point of diminishing returns, or you're playing for vanity. All this kind of stuff goes through your head. And some guys can do it, and it was my time.
Yeah.
Truly.
But 10 years, I mean, that's a long NFL career.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I never had visions of any of that happening. It was kind of one of those happy coincidences, truly.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I mean, to be able to walk away and with pride and dignity and not regret it, that's pretty incredible.
Man, and with young kiddos at home too.
Oh, yeah.
So you still got plenty of time to do things with them.
I'll tell you what, it was a total inverse, right? Like a very distant father to being ever present. I think the kids took some adjusting to. I think my wife is still adjusting to it.
Yeah.
I think she enjoys it a little bit. It's fun. It's been cool. It's been so great to be involved. I mean, to be honest, I do this. We were talking about podcasting. I have one, but you realize that you have an ego, regardless of how big or small it is. And you think you don't have one until the lights are off, right? I don't have visions of playing. I can't. But, there definitely was an ego that's disgusting pig ego that wants to be heard.
People still need to see me and hear from me.
Which they don't,
I need to
dude.
be ever present.
Which they don't, but I do it anyways. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely gives and takes, but it's been awesome to be able to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a jam-packed fall for our family. And it's the fall I envisioned when I retired.
Right.
Yeah.
Being on the go, but also being able to be home and be present. So
And
it's
just choosing
married
what
into
you
it.
get to do, I would
Totally.
imagine.
Yeah.
How was your transition into retirement, though? I know a lot of players talk about with the mental health aspect. You go from being told what to do every minute of every day and your life scheduled out, and it's great. And then next thing you know, like Jeremy Macklin always used this example. He's like, I got sick and I had to call the doctor, and I'm like, I don't even.
Yeah.
Where's my insurance? Do I have a card? Like, who do I call?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the team doc.
Right.
Like, what do I do?
That part does stink. That part stinks. But my mental health got so much better after retiring.
Yeah.
Truly. And I also understand how the novelty of that can be for some players. To have that grace built in is so special. Now it's in such a better place. It's the best. It's great. It's cool.
I've always enjoyed your family and the story of your family, where you came from. Your dad was one of the parents that emailed me all the time when I was a
I don't
writer.
know if that's good.
No, it was always good, just thanking me. Even when you were in the NFL, he would. And I think when I got the job here 2-3 years ago, he reached out right away, and that's so neat to have those connections and have that kind of support. But tell us about your family back home, and your relationship with your brother is. I mean,
pretty cool.
It's pretty amazing, and the fact that it was that story was told when you were in the NFL, and the world got to see it. Man, it was pretty special.
Super, super special. To your point, Dave. I mean, my family was great. Like, yes, we had this. People call it a cross to bear, all this stuff. But I mean, I was 4 years old when my brother became disabled. He was just, a young pup, and so there was, your consciousness. You're very conscious as a 4-year-old, but your consciousness, which you can recall,
Right.
I mean, it depends on who you are, but there was no pre or post. It was just like that was, which I think there's some grace in that. I think there could be worse things that happen. With that, there is no mourning of a childhood loss. My parents gave me the most normal childhood possible. A lot of families that have disabilities or folks that are disabled in them might not have the means, and that was never an issue for us. By no point were we living lavishly, but we were fine. And they were very cognizant of me having a normal childhood. I had my own deficits as a kid, right? Like most kids have, right? It just kind of presents itself in certain ways. But they're my my wife's my best friend. I would say that if she wasn't sitting here, but you also have your parents. I was so lucky to have best friends built in. Like my mom and my dad are, of course, my biggest fans, but also the folks that I called up before every game, even when I was well into my 30s. Just being a small kid talking about just the nerves of the game and stuff. Like to have that is still so cool. And they were very understanding is not the right word. They were elated when I ended up retiring because I think they also knew that at this point it was point of diminishing returns, right?
Yeah.
But now, they're both retired. My mom travels, does competitive tennis.
Oh wow!
And my dad, Lord knows what he's doing on a different day, doing Duolingo or doing some sort of artistic thing, playing. He's kind of the modern day Renaissance man, just off of his own itchiness to. He's got this weird dichotomy where he is an outgoing person, but he's fine sitting at the house for 3 days in a row. But also having an idle mind scares him. So it's great, man. And then my brother, he's in a good situation as well. He's in a new living situation, but one that we knew was going to come down the pipe. It was one that is going to happen. You're not going to do it yourself. So it's kind of a little bit of a scramble when it does happen. But man, are they in a good spot. So I haven't seen him since that happened, but we're going down for Thanksgiving, so that'll be cool.
Okay.
And now it's really fun. My daughter's old enough to be cognizant of his situation, and she's very interested in meeting her uncle. She's met her uncle, but to kind of see him, and that's such a cool experience. I think even for probably people with normally functioning siblings, like to have that experience is so cool.
And you have 2 kids,
2 kids, yeah.
boy and a girl. Okay, how old?
And that's it. They're 5 and 3, about to be 6 and 4 respectively.
Okay. Oh, I don't ask that.
It's a mutual decision. Yeah. it's
People
cool.
ask me that all the time. They're like,
Yeah.
"So," and I'm like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, no, it's they're great. Older one's a girl, younger one's a boy, and keep us on our toes. But it's just so much fun to see right now. Both of them have so much grace. They're kids, right? But
Right.
they have good dispositions about them, which is all you can ask for as a parent. And then you're constantly, I'm sure you can speak on this, you're just constantly trying not to mess them up.
Yes.
Well, God, what did I do to scar them that
Yes.
time, right? But it's cool. It's great. I appreciate you asking. It's awesome.
I have to imagine that as an NFL widow for all the years that Katie was. Is that a pretty accurate? That now that you're home all the time, it's got to be exciting. Like, oh, kids have a dentist appointment. Mitch, can you take them? Like, oh, the kids have to go to Mitch. Will you go pick them up?
I get
Mitch, will
busy
you do this?
weirdly at certain times when dentist appointments come up. No, but it is fun. Yeah, we took the kids to when my
I
daughter
love that
Ben.
you still think it's fun. So.
Oh, well, it's cool to see. Well, it's also cool to see them like, hey, this is cool. You're here. That novelty's starting to wear off a bit, but to be a dad at drop off and stuff, it's cool. It's the best, man. It's sick.
So Florida's home. How long are you guys is that gonna be where you
Yeah,
stay?
yeah. For now, at least, we still have a storage unit. We're actively selling our house in Kansas City. But so that being said, we're actively selling our house in Kansas City in an undisclosed place. We would love for you to buy it, but we put our stuff in like the stuff that we didn't have room for in Jacksonville. But we really want to hold on to. It's in Kansas City because if we ever do move, it'll be back to Kansas City. It just feels like home. It's awesome. But Florida, like, it's cool taking your daughter to school in a golf cart. We're only X amount of yards away from the ocean. Like, it's you pinch yourself. You don't think you deserve it, but it's a party, dude. It's cool.
Do you have any coaching ambitions?
Hell no. I would like to stay married to my wife. Alimony seems like a gnarly deal. No, I also don't have the disposition to coach. I don't think. I admire the folks that do. I don't walk that path.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
especially
you
young
and you
folks.
mentioned it earlier. Monday mornings with Mitch.
That's
So
right.
tell us about that. How did that come about?
Well, vanity, vanity, as well as just. I enjoy talking to folks. I understand it forever. I was like, I'm not doing a podcast because, even though I do love this podcast, by the way,
Oh, thank you.
whatever I say here does not demean this because I wouldn't have come on this if I didn't want to. But it's like I don't need to add to the endless void of schmucks who just retired, who don't know what they're talking about. This is me talking about myself.
Yeah. He's not talking. We haven't retired yet, so he's not.
Yeah, you
talking
guys
about
are
us.
still. You guys are good.
Going strong.
But I'd kind of gotten a few of these, another Make-A-Wish deal to Good Morning Football. I'd been able to get on a few spots there.
Oh yeah.
Another itch I wish had been scratched and walked on, but it wasn't. Like, it fueled a fire. I loved every second of it. And the producer there was like, hey, if this was 5 or 10 years ago, you might be able to already step into a place. But it's a saturated market, flooded with folks who know what they're doing. You kind of have to do your own thing. And so the Bills were gracious enough. I do a stint on their show once a week, which is awesome. I'm so thankful for them letting me do that. But also, like, I do enjoy talking to folks. I don't enjoy schematics as much, talking like X's and O's. There's plenty of folks who know more about that who are able to divulge that information to the Gen Pop more than I am.
Yeah.
But I do like talking about random stuff, right? we talked kind of funny. We won't talk about the segments, but we've gotten on some weird tangents, and I enjoyed the heck out of that. So Monday mornings with Mitch started off because after games in Buffalo on Mondays, we'd have plenty of time to kill. So we'd have this lift, and then we'd have some time, and then we'd watch the film. So there was this couch, and the equipment manager's room called Jeff. His name's Jeff Mazurk. He's a good friend. We would sit there, and we would just talk wild stuff, right? We would chew the fat. Of course, it would be about football. We would divulge. We would kind of be our own mediators, but then we would just be about random stuff. And it turned into such a thing that they made shirts called Monday Mornings with Mitch and all this stuff. And so when this came about, I was like, this is going to be great. Turns out posting stuff Monday after games, no one wants to hear about it, right? So our biggest days are Tuesday, Wednesday. And so you see these posts and you're like, man, no one cares. But, that's another thing that I've kind of come about is like, this is not for that. It might have started out that way, but I just enjoy it. I enjoy the prep. I enjoy it just like you guys. You find, coming in like, where's he from? What makes him tick? All this stuff. Or maybe bringing something up that the guy or the gal who I'm interviewing is like, oh, that's an interesting thing. I want to talk about that. People might not want to hear about it.
Yeah.
But they want to hear about it. So I enjoy the hell out of it.
And you did it earlier. I will say one of the best ego boosts when we're doing this is when somebody goes, ooh, that's a really good question. I'm like,
yeah.
thanks.
It is. Well,
came up with
because it's not as I found that interviewing folks is not as intuitive as I thought it was going to be.
It takes a bit, yeah.
It takes a bit. You have to find a way to ebb and flow. You have to find a way to segue. I might have been thinking about doing this. We kind of went on this tangent, but it kind of works with this. So let's reel this back. We'll come back to this.
Yep.
It's a beautiful dance that I'm still figuring out. I'm trying to pop, lock, and drop it still like it was at 2004, and now it's all sorts of new dances that I'm still trying to figure out. Not really, but like the scope.
R.I.P. Deja Vu,
Yeah,
there
you go.
Yeah, it's true.
I do believe your senior year here, you won the Good Guy Media Award. We would give it out. We would actually have a vote, and we would vote on who the best. And it wasn't necessarily who was the best quote. It was like who was accessible, who was always thoughtful, never mailed it in.
And it was the professor?
It was this guy. I think you won it, and we even had like a little trophy.
They did.
Yeah.
It was one of those cool experiences, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's call a spade. When you get your tails kicked in, the last thing you want to do is talk about it.
Yeah.
But, everyone's got their own gig. Everyone's got their jobs. Like, I'm sure you guys don't want to talk about how the hell am I going to spin this in a positive light? They got beat 30-0.
Yeah.
But you got to find a way, and you got to find grace about it, and it's a give and take, and you kind of learn that, and you also garner these relationships. I mean, I still talk to some of the Buffalo beat writers. Like, they're still some of my very good friends. I mean, I just did a podcast last week with a good buddy of mine in Kansas City who's a beat writer. Like, we were talking about Therese Paylor.
Yeah.
One of the best to ever do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, we lost him too soon. Who knows what he'd be doing now? Like, just tip of the top. There's just some good folks in here that do it the right way. And it's all about having that grace, give and take, and then everyone can kind of do their job together. And it's fun to kind of get asked that good question or answer it in a way that's still productive and reaches the point, but also might be a little bit of a funky twist to it. I've always enjoyed that.
Mitch might have saved my life you don't remember this, I'm sure. And after the 2013 SEC championship game, it was different. Remember, because they had open locker rooms. So instead of bringing it was like the NFL.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing the players to a podium or a room, the locker room was just open for the media to go in and wander.
Oh my God! Like you used to see on Major League, like in that movie.
That's what they did, and that's what they still.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
They just wander around.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Guys
it's
and
as
gals alike,
awkward for the media as it is for the players.
And then also, if you realize that a lot of stuff people now go outside. Like, I'll take this question. Go on.
It's. I wish they wouldn't do that because it's nobody's used to that setting. And I asked, you guys were all sitting together, offensive linemen. I asked Evan a question, and I didn't phrase it very well, and I thought he was going to murder me. And I think he still remembers the question. And I want to believe that like you may have just like grabbed him and restrained him from getting up and body slamming me.
Yeah, I mean, we all live and learn, right? Dave actually asked me a question once that made me cry.
What?
Yeah.
Happy tears, sad tears.
Yeah. Oh, I was mortified. Yeah. Dave, we're all good now, Dave.
What did
you're
he
a good buddy.
ask?
Well, so it was that struggle in 2012 I was having snapping.
Yeah.
And what you do is you walk into your position room, and they'd have media requests.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my media request. I also knew what happened that Saturday.
This was like the week after.
This was South Carolina. I sailed like 3 snaps, dude. We killed drives. I knew It's actually the first time I knew you could look your name up on Twitter, like put your name
Oh
in.
no.
Terry, it was a very huge learning experience. And I won't. It was we talked about it after day, but it was just one of those things. Like as a young man, you learn how to first of all understand that even in college, it's a profession.
Yeah.
And everyone's got a job to do. You live and learn. You go through that, and you kind of take stuff, and not everything's taken the way it's supposed to. And even with the best intentions, and that can be reciprocated. We see plenty of times where players, dude, how many times I answered a question out of frustration, I look back, I'm like, that dude was just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I treated him like dude, it happened I played a scrimmage in Buffalo in 2023, weirdly snapping again. I was working with a backup quarterback in a scrimmage, and the coach does that. Like, he took Josh out, me and Kyle Allen, and I could not get the under center snaps. And this guy comes up to me afterwards, just like, hey, tough day snapping, huh? And he was just literally just trying to be like,
Yeah.
look, dude, I lost it. Oh, man. And then we had a great conversation. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. It was just me in a weak moment. I was in my 30s. Like, it happens. Like, in your 30s. No one escapes it. So, weird thing. You and me are great. But it was also, in a weird way, a great learning experience as a young player. But we all walk a different path, kind of have to do different things. And believe me, as players, we understood when, like, dude, they don't want to ask these tough questions that I don't want to answer. Let's just find a way to marry these together, and then we can give something for the general public who deserves an answer and deserves the insight. Like, how do we figure this out?
Yeah.
I'd like to think I got better at that over time.
I think you did.
I wouldn't be sitting here, Dave, if you hadn't. How about that?
You have to develop some kind of sense of empathy, because you can sit up there in the press box and watch the games, and there's not a single thing those guys are doing down there that I could do. So
Correct.
like, remember that when you're asking a question about their low moments.
I will say I find myself as a guy who said I will never do that when I'm done.
Yeah.
You catch yourself even as a guy who thinks he has empathy, who's played it and done that.
Yeah.
What was he doing? It happens to even the folks that think it won't happen to them. So it's a learning curve, dude. It's a wild deal.
Okay. Well,
I was
This has
19.
been awesome.
I was 19 when I cried.
on that note, you can ask the rest of the questions, Laura.
You're good, Dave.
No, I've
good,
got one
kid.
more question before we go into rapid fire.
Okay.
Do you feel like Netflix missed out not doing a centers documentary?
No. No one gives two diddlies. And honestly, like, that's the last thing I want. Like, any camera that when in, like, sacred places, you know, like the home.
It's an awkward angle, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're dropping down and getting your eagle on. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't. No, hell no.
I mean, you have snapped for multiple quarterbacks.
Yes.
Whose hands were you most comfortable having at your tush?
I think everyone had their time in the sun, right? And you kind of just through repetitions, you kind of marry. It's like a good mold, right? Like sometimes you gotta warm the mold up a little bit more.
Yeah.
As my elbows got worse, my snaps, my shotgun snaps were always the same, boom, boom, boom. But my under center snaps went a little bit left because I couldn't do the full supination stuff. So, when I first got with Alex and Pat, it was middle knuckle right in the taint, and then as it goes under. No, true. Like, what you want to do is as a quarterback, as a young center with a veteran quarterback, you say, I want you to almost lift me off the ground. First of all, I want to know you're there.
Okay.
Because this thing is kind of humming.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to break your hand with this ball. I won't.
Yeah.
Unless you do this, then I'm going to break a finger or two, but you keep it straight, it's fine. But I would tell quarterbacks as I got farther into the league, like, hey, man, I don't know what it is, but it's not so much. It used to be left cheek, and then I swear it was like left hamstring. By the end.
That's crazy.
But yeah, everyone's got smooth, cool hands. All these quarterbacks play with now have big hands. You kind of have to. It's this weird thing. So that helps even if it's off a bit, like they got the big smooth
cool.
hands.
That stuff I would watch a documentary about this.
No, you wouldn't.
I absolutely
Maybe an
would.
episode. I don't know if you
I would
did.
watch
Two
Mitch's
diddlies.
episode.
Yeah, I'd be a weird curmudgeon who didn't give you anything. I'm a much better person now that I'm done playing. It's awesome.
We can pitch that to Netflix.
I would love that.
Okay, all right. Are you doing odds or evens?
I would like evens, please.
Okay, so that means I get 1, 3, and 5. All right, Mitch, these are rapid fire, quick. Don't spend a lot of time. Your favorite meal in Columbia?
D-Rose wings.
Smoked
buffalo?
or
Smoked.
buffalo?
Okay. That's
I do love buffalo wings, but I had plenty of their smoked wings here.
Great answer. Okay.
best advice you've ever been given.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Was that also from Evan Boehm?
No. And I would punch him right in the nose. If he gave me another piece of sage advice, it'd been over, dude.
Okay, you're going to be political with this one, I'm afraid. Bills Mafia or Chiefs Nation?
Both have their time in the sun. Next question.
Yeah. Just like the quarterback's hands.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like everyone's fans.
Another bad question from Dave.
No, it's polarizing. It's a good one. It's one of those questions we talked about that people want to hear.
Yeah.
That's that hot thing. I'm just not going to give it to you, dog. I'm sorry.
Bucket list podcast guest.
Oh, I'd love to have Travis on there. Be smooth. It's hard to get him pinned down.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's so kind. I know we're not supposed to give much, and they'd be like, and everything you see about Travis, he's even better than that. He's the best teammate you can have.
And you and I have talked about this plenty. Like, it's just when you see people from afar to
Yeah.
find out that they are actually good
He's
human
the
beings.
coolest, man.
Yeah.
Still so present with his friend. He's very nice.
Great. Okay, last question. Your favorite Mizzou memory?
I think that 2013 Texas A&M, that run that Henry hit right off the right side.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dude, you could feel you could hear it first. Not him running, but you could hear the crowd.
Yeah.
And then you turn, and it's just him, an open field, and he is humming.
Yeah.
And you knew, like, of course, Johnny could still do his thing, but like,
Right.
there's a really good chance we're going to win this game. And then when that went down and the folks stormed, and it was a night game, and we always went to Stadium Bar and Grill because it was a walk away, and they had the best chicken sandwich. You could put bacon on it. It's also a good meal. I think it's probably slept on because it's just right there. but
Yeah.
I dig it pretty good.
Can I add a sixth one?
Yeah,
Just like what
please.
I was thinking about. We were talking about it earlier. Coolest person that you have gotten to meet because of your celebrity.
Oh,
Present company included.
yeah. Well, I've gotten to meet
Shameless plug.
I've gotten to meet some really cool people. Of course, in the football realm, meeting folks like Tom Brady, all this stuff is really cool. And to see guys view you as a peer is one of those unique experiences. I got to know a contingency of, besides the quarterbacks, right, that I play with, like a contingency of actors that are Kansas City fans
Oh, yeah.
who are still very, no, they were not very close, but like I was just out in New York City and got to hang out with Paul Rudd for a bit, just him and his
Yeah.
family, and kind of see that, and just to see how, and he's another guy that's just like, dude, he is even cooler, and he is a cool guy on the screen. He is just so cool, and his wife is awesome. His kiddos are great, but some like just guys like that, and even some of the random people that you get to meet that just like, I grew up a huge Texas fan. And when I first walked into the Chiefs facility, there's Jamal Charles.
Oh, wow.
He's my running back.
yeah.
I'm like, this is sick. And Derek Johnson's he's actually the Texas legend this year.
Oh,
Derek
cool.
Johnson,
Oh,
I
there
get to
you
see
go.
him, which was fun. But yeah, just really unique stuff, and you still pinch myself. It's cool. It's one of those things, and I know this is one of those tangents, but you have your time in the sun. And they always tell you to enjoy it while it lasts, because you'll miss it, or you'll not envy it, but you'll long for it a little bit. But perspective is a cruel, cruel deal that you don't really have. You can't inherently have it. It's another thing if you could have a pill.
Yeah.
You'd smile more, you'd enjoy it more. So really a lot of cool folks.
That's really cool.
We kind of buried the lead. So you are the Mizzou 2025 SEC legend. So you'll
Yeah.
get to go to the SEC championship game and get honored.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. It's a good class. Cam Newton's in that class. You just mentioned Derek Johnson, but Connor Shaw. Oh, we're not going to mention Connor Shaw. I just did.
Kryptonite. He's the kryptonite here.
Boo.
2013.
He's a gamer, dude.
South Carolina.
Couldn't even regret it. Like, he's just a gamer. Poor guy's knee.
Now you should get him on the podcast and talk about
Connor Shaw,
the
yeah.
2013 overtime game.
Actually, that's a great.
But what's very cool
And give
about
all credit to Dave Matter for suggesting that
Yes, I
happened.
will.
Okay.
what's
Shout out
very
Dave.
cool about that this honor, you are our first legend in the SEC who actually played
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
SEC.
that's super cool. Super unique. Yeah, Texas is going to have a ways to go with that.
Yeah, well, they've got some.
It's
catching up to do.
another one of those things. Like you're just one of those pinch me moments. You know what I mean? Like, you always dream of being recognized by your school. Like, my biggest dream still is to hopefully one day be in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Like, that'd be so
Oh,
unique.
man, if only we knew people who
know,
could nominate him.
Selfless plug there. Like, I just to see that, to be recognized by your school, especially like while you're here, to see that and see those guys is just like, that's a unique experience that you never think you'd have. And so when Laird gave me a shout that this was a possibility, and then you filled me in on everything, I've been so gracious with that. And I know Dave was a big proponent in voting. Shout out, Dave. Love you, buddy. such an honor. And I might look stupid with a mustache up there, but I'll be beaming with pride. I won't have one.
You're not going to have a
I'm
mustache.
not going to have a mustache because the
No.
boys are going to beat Oklahoma.
But you can just carry around the Chiefs jersey that says MIZ.
Yeah,
like, bring
that's
it with
right.
you.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
All media appearances, that's just
Yeah.
like draped on the chair next to you.
Yeah, well, there. You know, what's weird is that the two fan bases that, of course, I have three fan bases. The Jags really don't care about me, but the Chiefs and Bills fans really don't like each other.
Yeah. A lot of playoff games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I had a Chiefs helmet for my backdrop, and the amount of hate that I got was like, I'm like, so I just, like, every time I do the Buffalo show, I just kind of move it down, put it back up. It's cool. One of those unique. Yeah, Larry gave me a shout. It was cool. Awesome. Still pinch myself. Really cool.
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
Okay, final part of the podcast. Now, here's where we go full circle. Your photo. We were just talking about this piece of lawn
yeah.
furniture or lawn decoration.
Let me see this thing.
Take it. You can show it to the camera if you want to.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There it is, the rock.
So I'll tell you what. That was, of course, senior night because it was a great tradition. With my broken hand, we, because we had that experience in 2013.
Yeah.
Where we had seen the senior class have this great thing. And then, 2014, we didn't have the greatest. We had some rocky road. And we
Yeah.
had these huge ebbs and flows. But to have another experience where we were playing again to go to the SEC championship game and have them rush again, and that was so cool.
Yeah.
And
Was it
yeah.
Arkansas game? Arkansas?
Arkansas,
Yeah.
yeah, we were, and they were coming off of like 4 games where they didn't let up a point.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that rock doesn't look as white anymore, but what a unique experience. Bad elbows back then too.
Okay, you gotta hang
I'll
it.
get to hang it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
how
be.
great is that? I'm sweating, by the way. These khakis are gonna look.
It's okay. It's not
When
HD.
Mike Alden was in here, he had
Oh, what a great-
He had on athletic shorts below his button-down shirt and tie.
The Daisy Dukes. Any spot. Now this thing's really delicate. It might fall, so don't.
Well, I don't.
You can cover people up. Yeah. Country star Roman Alexander.
Handsome.
What?
He said Roman's handsome.
He's a good looking man. Yeah. He's coming in town, Columbia, December 4th. Yeah. We're trying to get him on the show.
Let me tell one story, not to give David too much hell, but.
That's actually my favorite thing to do on the show, so
Yeah,
please
so,
go ahead.
So talking about that same South Carolina game.
Oh, yeah,
Dave,
yeah.
That we danced our dance to. Someone told me not to look at Twitter. So what do? You inherently look.
Yes.
And David Nail had roasted my ass on a spigot.
Whoa!
You're a fan.
Yeah.
And one of the I forget. Oh, God bless him. I forget his name. Yeah, thank you. My ass is sweating. I forget who the ex football player is. He was the guy he played for the Packers, the offensive lineman. He used to be on the sideline all the time. I don't know if he still is. Great.
Tony Palmer.
Tony Palmer.
OTP.
Yeah.
Tony Palmer, the great man, and I think he posted like, "Hey, you should really try see how hard this is to do that." And all I do is repost it like I would agree. And then David finds a way. He gets my phone number, and we have a really good chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh dude, just because I loved his music, he was a Mizzou guy, all that
Yeah.
stuff, and just to see that, and then I feel bad because I think 2013 or 14 we're on that run, and David goes, we're playing somewhere in the SEC. He comes out, and I give him the coldest shoulder, and you know what? That's just me being immature because we had already had our
Yeah.
thing. We had already said, so
Yeah.
if he's out there. He's Red Light, and it's one of my favorite songs, but it still is. It's a great song. So, Dave, we love you, buddy. But
He and I had beef once too, and now we're good, so I can relate.
yeah,
I
have beef.
I
You
have
have beef
zero
with
beef
people,
with
Dave.
David Nail.
Strange.
Young and immature.
All right, so yeah, please. I don't want to. Please move that.
No, it's
wherever
perfect.
You want. Yeah, appreciate having me on.
Yeah,
This was a
thank
lot
you.
of
This was
fun.
great.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, it's a beautiful day. We're gonna walk back.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Enjoy
Okay.
all that
Enjoy
Columbia
it.
has
Well,
to
Don't
offer.
get
Yeah,
lost
if-
in Hearn Center.
If we get thirsty, we might have to stop at a few places and
So
grab it.
you're gonna, you're gonna bounce by a few on the way.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit. We're going. Speaking of D-Rose tomorrow,
Yeah.
grab some wings.
There you
But
go.
the thing about D-Rose is that when you go to D-Rose, you smell like D-Rose the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a terrible smell to have, but
It's not.
one of the people in our party is adamantly against smelling like D-Rose all day. So we're going to another favorite spot. So you said a good spot. We love Murray's.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
The only problem is when you're playing, Coach Pinkel was in there all the time,
Yes.
every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to like, hello, sir. But now it's cool. It'd be great. We're gonna go there, have a steak sandwich.
You might be there. Got to get a steak sandwich.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's actually
good.
just a steak with a
And
little
Murray's-
you have to
dinner
get
roll.
there like as soon as they open.
I know, but our
There
friend
is,
doesn't get
like,
here
a-
till 6 or 7.
Can
so
they just meet you there?
Actually, it's a good point. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, that is like a 4-hour wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have a cool, like they have that train. I don't know this podcast is going to be. They have that train. They have that train that goes like they have that old Budweiser train that goes. Hopefully they still have it. But it's also like one of those because CC's Broiler is one of those places that everyone dreamed of going when your parents came to town for graduation.
Right.
Yep.
Or if that one person's dad came in who brought you, like
Yes.
you don't know, like he's coming to town, press your suit or whatever, right? But I feel like Murray's was the first place as a college kid you could feel like this. You still had a little pizzazz to it.
Yeah.
But that you could still afford.
And still for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You still afford.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Ernie's this morning. We ate like kings and queens. It was like $30.
Yep.
And I mean, we went for it, and I was like, "Oh, this is
That's why
definitely
you're sweating,
different."
man. Like meat sweats.
You know, yeah, my ass sweats regardless of what's going on. So you want to talk about
That sounds really
center
fun for
quarterback?
all of your quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, you learn tricks of the trade, and you just kind of deal with it, dude. Tough
Oh,
nugs.
man.
All right, Mitch. This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Thank you
appreciate you
so
guys. Thanks so
much.
much for
Okay.
having me on. Truly, it means a lot. It really does. This whole weekend's going to be a treat. Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
Thanks a lot.
Love you guys. Thank you.
This episode of Mizzou Storytellers on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast is brought to you by Shelter Insurance. Ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power 5 out of the last 6 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Mitch Morse.
What a guy.
What a guy.
What a
One
guy.
of my favorites all time to write about it, even though apparently I made him cry.
When he was 19.
Gosh. He has brought that up a few times, not the specific moment that I upset him with a question, but yeah. I actually appreciate that he can tell me that because it makes me realize I think I grew and matured and developed but I do feel a little bad that I was
But you know what was cool while he was
don't
telling that story is to throw back to a conversation you and I had in your office the other day, like without going into details, but that there was a young reporter
Yeah.
in a press conference that, you know,
It happens.
an ill-timed question and like it was phrased probably not the best.
yeah.
And that there was a conversation had afterwards, and it, you know, and you said it then too. You're like, that's just part of being a young reporter is
Yeah.
figuring it out and getting the feedback and learning your lessons.
Right. And it's just, I think you develop a sense of empathy with the people that you are around and write about if you allow yourself to. And I would like to think I did. And I'm just grateful that he doesn't hate me and he was able to come in here and visit.
No, it sounds like he likes you.
Now we got to work on Evan Bame.
Yes. Apparently, we need to get Evan in here. And maybe instead of asking in his rapid fire, like, best advice you've ever been given, what's the best advice you've ever given?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's what we'll have to
I
do.
knew he would not answer the Bills Mafia or Chief
I
Nation.
know.
Yeah.
No, and I will, because I've known his wife. She's a Mizzou volleyball alum.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known her and her sister since they played here. They're pretty close to my age, actually. And so it was really, I've known her, and I just never,
Yeah.
I had never met Mitch.
Never?
So, no.
Wow. He's
No,
a great guy.
I've met his, obviously I know Katie, I know Katie's sister Emily, they both played, Emily's husband Steve, I had met him, I just never met Mitch.
That whole group of offensive linemen on that 13 team were just a special collection of guys, and you have a good relationship with Justin Britt and Evan Bame, of course, is your Connor McGovern was the other one. Guy who's made a lot of money in the NFL and had a really great
And
career there.
Potatoes.
And potatoes, yes. And then Max Copeland, who was just the odd one of the bunch because he was a walk-on and he
Yeah.
became a starter, and then he became this this great character on the football team and really he's like I saw him on LinkedIn the other day. He got a new job. He's like literally like a nuclear scientist, engineer, some type. Yeah, he does some crazy stuff that you and I
As we're
could
talking,
not
I'm pulling
figure
this
out.
up, so.
Yeah. Have you warned Mitch about Big Mo before he hits it that he can't put all of his weight and power behind it?
I have
because
not.
Henry Josie hit it last week and swung a little too hard.
I made it.
Did it dent?
all- yes.
It's a brand new.
I know.
Head,
Steve. Steve.
It's a brand new head. They just put that on a month ago.
No, they put it on at the beginning of the season.
No,
and
they did. They
wasn't
waited a
it-
few games.
I was gonna say because
Yeah.
like
So we recorded it for a
so a
upcoming
couple
feature that you'll see soon.
a couple years ago when I had been doing Big Mo for a little bit, like getting the people up there, but I wasn't necessarily what you would say like in charge. And then we started having like 2013 or the 2023, we started having all these like, you know, getting the 2013 guys back. And then we're doing this reunion, the 1973 guys back, and like all these groups. And we were having them come hit Big Mo. And then they all started trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
You know, like Chase Daniel wanted to hit it as hard as he could. And then I got yelled at for that. And then James Franklin and Matty Mock had what is undeniably the best Big Mo hit that I have seen since I've been here. It was phenomenal. They tried to hit it harder than Chase to make a bigger dent. And so I was threatened by the marching Mizzou staff that I would, A, not be allowed to have large groups over there anymore while they're hitting the drum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or B, not be able to have alum actually hit it, that it would just be like an honorary thing. Like, and I was like, I don't think that's going to go over well in my office, but yeah.
When we first started having people hit it, nobody will ever top what Justin Smith did.
I can only imagine.
He actually broke it.
The drum or
that's
the
like- that would-
mallet?
The drum.
Oh, gosh. Well,
It
if
like,
anyone
went,
would
it like
break-
went into it a little bit.
Which that would, I mean, honestly, you
It
have
was-
to
it
hit it
was
pretty
like,
hard.
Oh no!
Because
Yeah,
like I said, I
Justin
watched.
Smith,
I
he's
watched how
huge.
I know, but I watched how hard like Chase Daniel was hitting it, and James and Maddie were hitting it, and like I saw how they dented it, but it's still like that wasn't gonna break. You know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely. I got
Let's
an
have
evil.
a talk with Mitch.
I got an evil eye after Henry hit it, and I'm like, I videoed Henry hitting it. You can see it in the video when as soon as he hits it, they looked at each other, and I was like, ah. So as soon as he was done, I was like, okay, thanks, and I just like ushered him away. So yes, we will have a good talking to.
Maybe we need a softer mallet.
No, no. They tell him what they tell him every
Softer
time is like
mallet.
maybe 40% strength. They're like, you don't have to hit it very hard at all, like because there's a mic there, you can hear it.
It's pretty hard to hand a charged up football alum a stick that's supposed to inflict
And they're like
some
getting the crowd
percussion.
hyped up and
Hey, just go at 40%. I don't
40%.
think
Just
that's
like
gonna
pinch it
work
with
out.
like 2 fingers. Oh, it's Mitch to use like his claw fingers to like
tap it.
Yeah, just tap it.
Give it a high five. Yeah. See. That was good. We're gonna have great weather, aren't we?
Yes. So high
Saturday?
tomorrow is like upper 70s.
Okay. Compared to last year's home finale,
Oh, that was so awful.
it was like
that was
Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. We're out there in the snow.
excellent reference.
Yeah.
Excellent reference, yes.
That was something else.
Yeah,
It's like
this
7
is
inches that day, I think it
Oh,
snowed.
man.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was up until the moment the players were on the field. We had staff,
Pre-game.
senior staff out
Yeah.
there
Oh, I was out there.
shoveling.
I was out there.
I was cleaning off the shelter
Of course you were out there,
insurance-
Dave.
I was cleaning off the Shelter Insurance Field logo, actually.
Oh, yeah, well,
you
that
know,
was-
and the
that was
Equipment Share
important.
Field logo as
Yeah,
well.
of course.
so.
That's amazing. Well, because we are sponsored by Shelter Insurance. Yeah, we're brought to you by Shelter Insurance, who is
are.
ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central region by J.D. Powers 7 out of the last 8 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Excellent.
I jinxed myself because I was bragging before the show started about how I was complimented on how well I did my ad reads, and
Did that great. That was awesome. Shelter Insurance will appreciate it.
really
Hopefully all their future customers will too.
Okay, I put a note in our script here, so I had to. I was going to tell you the other day, but I'm like, I'll just save it for the podcast. So, what game was it last year when the great Kellen Winslow came to your tent, the letter winners tent? It was cold. So
It was
it
pretty
wasn't the it
cold.
wasn't the snow game though.
no,
I think it was Oklahoma.
wasn't. I think it was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
It was Oklahoma because when we had John come back, and
Yeah.
that was because that was also the weekend of the Prescott event.
Oh,
That's yes.
how could I forget?
That's why he was here.
That's right. So you ever watched the show Peyton's Place? On,
Yeah.
So
I haven't been up to speed.
he's
on
got
it.
a he's
What
got
is
a
it?
Peyton Manning show on
Oh.
ESPN. He's got a show where he like does every episode's about something about the history of football, and he's got a whole episode about tight ends. And he plays chess with Kellen Winslow in an episode, and it's really good because Kellen Winslow was like the thinking man's tight end and the really cerebral guy, and it was great. And then so I was watching it with Will Matter, and I was like, hey, that guy went to Mizzou. He's like, oh, do you know him? I'm like, ah. But I showed him the picture the three of us took. He was like, whoa, you met this guy? And now he's playing chess with Peyton Manning. And it was a little flex. You know, it was
I
pretty
cannot
cool.
believe you did that. That was not on brand for you at all.
I mean, I got to impress the 9-year-old somehow.
Somehow Peyton Manning always weaves his way into
does.
this podcast.
I know. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a picture with Peyton.
Have you met Peyton Manning before, Dave?
But I've met Kellen Winslow. And I told Will, I'm like, I've met both of those people. And neither of them probably remember it.
And my eyes are open in one of the pictures.
And Loretta was there for
I was
both.
there for both of them.
Yeah. How about that?
Oh, our lives have just become interwoven. Interwoven. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow, last home game, senior night for the guys. Our latest kickoff this year, right? I can't. The
I don't know.
opening game was
South
so long
Opening
Carolina
game.
ago.
start- Was that at 7? Was it?
No.
No.
I think this is the latest one.
Well, the
And I
first
think it
game.
also just-
First game was a night game.
It
Yeah,
was
but-
a night game, but
I don't think it was this late. And it also, I
both
feel like
6:30.
I feel like such a grandma because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so dark.
Yeah, it'll be pitch black at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, half of the tailgate with the alumni will be in like the midnight sky.
It's the first time we've ever had an 8th home game. Ever.
I like that
Really?
fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never had 8 home games before, so this is a historic night
Okay.
at Old Mizzou.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. We've got our little M set up over
Yes,
on
I
the berm.
saw that. I saw it's super cute,
Uh-huh.
and I'm so glad because I know that a lot of people, literally a lot of people, have been asking
So
about
many
that.
people have asked, yeah.
Yeah, like, well, what about the rock? How are the seniors gonna get their rock? Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Well, it just goes to show you how great the conversation was because the screen thought we were done. So,
That was a long podcast. I mean, you get a podcaster in the room and you're just gonna,
Yes, and he is a great conversationalist.
What did any part of you just like hurt inside when we asked him his bucket list podcast guest and he did not say us?
No, because that's not how I operate.
I just figured Steve would be like, "Oh man, come on,
you don't want
I'm
to
the
talk
produ-
to me?
we're from the sixth best podcast in Columbia, Missouri."
Hopefully, soon to be at least top 5.
Yeah, we gotta nominate ourselves.
I got to
for
see when that happens. Like, that's got to be coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we only had a media specialist that could run a campaign to put behind it. Dave, there you
Let's
go.
see.
Oh, hey.
You can politic a little bit.
I don't know.
huh?
I don't know if I could, like put myself out there for something and
But we could talk to the right people who would do it for
Okay.
us.
all right, or we just do it,
Right. We could just do it.
pull some strings.
I see this note on here that when I read it, I was like, oh, yeah. The Morgan Wallen tickets that you bought.
Oh, listen to this,
your son.
Steve. I intentionally didn't tell you this story. So last week on the podcast, we talked about how I got Morgan Wallen tickets
Yeah.
in Indianapolis. So I'm on the field third quarter
Yeah.
for the game last
Yeah.
week, and Sophie Cunningham comes up to me. She's like, "Dude, Morgan Wallen, are you pumped?" And I was like, I said, "Sophie, you listen to the podcast?" And she goes, "What podcast?" She's like, "Loretta just told me you're going." I'm like, "Oh, come on."
God, I keep hitting the mic. Sorry.
But she's excited. I don't think it
She was-
dawned on her that the concert was in Indianapolis.
No, it did. I told her.
Okay.
So I went and found, we were chatting, and I said, I was like, we just recorded the podcast yesterday, and we were talking about how Dave got tickets to see Morgan Wallen in Indianapolis. And her face just like
Oh,
lit
okay.
up. She was like, oh my God, yes, yes. I was like,
Yes.
well, we were talking about, we hoped that you would be one of the local celebrities
Right.
pulled out with one of your teammates. I don't know which one,
Yeah.
maybe one of them.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, yeah. Oh, that would be so much fun. I was like, are you going to the concert? She's like, well, I will now. She's like, when is it? I was like, I don't remember. It's like sometime in the spring,
May,
like late. And she's like, oh, I will hook him up.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be awesome. I am so excited now.
Sweet.
So she told me that, and I'm like, well, my son who's going, Jackson, who turns 16 next week, along with his twin brother, Connor. They both have the same birthday. They're twins.
Not guaranteed.
What's that?
It's that they'd have the same birthday.
That's true. And but they do. And I told him, Sophie, he's a big fan of yours. He got his picture taken with her he went to the Hall of Fame
I
ceremony
remember,
just so he
yes.
could get a picture taken with her. And she's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll hook you guys up. So I did tell him that night. He is quite excited. He's like, please don't forget to remind her. I'm like, okay, we've got 7 months.
And that's
okay?
what she told me. And I know she told you the same thing. Like, just remind me. Like, just text me and remind me.
Yeah, so looking forward to it. We need to get her on the podcast. I mean, I know
Yeah,
she
this
has her
is true.
own.
Yes, she does. She does.
She has a very good podcast.
But she and Jeremy Macklin was upset that I have not scheduled a time for him to come yet either. He actually asked me about that last weekend. He said, man, when am I going to be on
I
the
asked
podcast?"
Spoon, I said we should have a podcast within the podcast, like have their
Yeah.
group and ours, and we simulcast them.
Whoa.
Can we do that?
That's very meta.
Yeah, I mean, I've helped produce their podcast before when
Yeah.
they've come for things. So yeah, I mean, let's do it.
I don't really know what that means when I said simulcast. We could
We
just,
could just
record
interview
at the
each
same
other.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. We
Wonder
can
how many
share
awful questions I asked them when
comments.
they were student athletes here.
Ooh.
Gosh, I hope not.
I mean, probably.
Don't worry
a few.
about it, Dave. He's not worried about it. You shouldn't be either.
Okay, he's moved on. It's gonna sit with me for a while though.
I wouldn't
Bother
watch
me.
the video of when he told you that though.
Did I
Your
just
face, yeah.
it was visual shame.
because Mitch really is like, if I had to rank the players that I covered and got to know a little bit, he's at the top. Like he is such a great guy, and super accessible. I remember I did a Zoom when the Chiefs were playing the Bills in the AFC Championship game. I don't know what year, but it's when he was with the Bills. There was a Zoom, and I'm like, I'll write about this because he's going to play, his old team. He's a Mizzou guy, and he saw me on the Zoom, and he it made his day. I want to believe.
Aw.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He's like, I still haven't forgiven you for that question you asked me in 2012, apparently, but
I think you should think of it as a pivotal moment for him.
Yeah.
Like, that helped him,
maybe it did.
and that's why he remembers it.
Maybe it did. Okay.
Okay. What else is going on?
He's talking about eating some wings tonight, and that sounds pretty good.
My parents are coming in town, and I am trying to figure out where to go for dinner.
My in-laws are in town,
Really?
so we get a date night.
Do smoked wings, are those high in fiber?
I don't know.
Well, Socket Fiber is now available. The fastest, most reliable internet combined with local service and simple billing.
You can't make it through.
Contact Socket today for voice. Don't make me laugh. Voice data and internet services for your home and business. 1-800-SOCKET3 or visit socket.net.
You win.
They power the podcast.
You win.
Big shout out to Socket Fiber.
I tried.
I mean, wings, just one of the many things that you can smoke. So,
Yes.
Well, a lot of people eat wings as fast as they can. Is it as fast as Socket Fiber internet?
Oh.
I
So
hope
there you
not.
go.
That would lead to an upset tummy.
That would
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
I'm
We're talking
craving wings now.
Kobayashi style.
I am too. I'm hungry.
All right, what else do we have to talk about?
Basketball has started.
It has. Men's and women's basketball.
Men's and women's. Our new setup with our courtside seats, which look
great.
amazing. We routed Minnesota pretty well the other night for the men. Women have a home game on Monday.
Yep. No, the men do.
Is it
Yeah, the women are play Kansas tomorrow.
Right. I said Monday.
Monday, the men play.
Yeah.
Prairie View
Is it
A&M.
Prairie View A&M.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
It's been a long fall.
Yeah, it has. I will tell you this much. The pregame Chalk Talk up in the Clinton Club has been going swimmingly well.
I got here too late to listen to it the other night with Amelia. I poked in and everybody was already gone.
I've added a trivia question for everyone just to kind of
Like you
lighten the
used
mood
to
a little
in
bit.
that newsletter that you would send out?
I did, yeah. So I'm just trying to get a little more engagement from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Do people answer it?
they try. I'm pretty good with trivia questions.
What was this last one?
Yeah, what was last one?
Last one, so we were playing Minnesota. My question was, I had a couple. They were all Big Ten basketball related. Which Big Ten team has Mizzou men's basketball played the most? And it's kind of a trick question.
A lot of people would want to say Illinois.
And they did.
I'm going to say Nebraska.
Nebraska is the correct
Nebraska's
answer.
number one.
Because I didn't say, I just said which current Big Ten team have we played the most, not in Big Ten when they were in the Big Ten.
That's a trick question.
And
Good
then
job.
I
Got it.
followed it up with which Big Ten team have we never lost to?
Penn State.
That is correct because we've never played them.
Oh,
We've also never lost to Oregon. We've actually played them. I think we're 6-0.
okay. Those are fun.
We played. We beat Oregon since I've been here.
Yeah.
Did people get excited like we just did in the
Wow.
They did not guess as well
Okay.
as producer Steve did.
I was
That was
really
pretty
good.
proud of myself. That was pretty quick.
That
Really
was
good.
I was lost.
Were you there? Were you there listening?
No,
I felt
wasn't.
really good about the Nebraska one.
What?
I said I felt really good about the Nebraska one.
Yeah.
But that was
I got some Iowas. I got a lot of Illinois, and nope.
Illinois.
Well, because we play them all the time, so they thought that's who
Oh.
we had played the most.
Yeah. Okay.
And before like the Big
Conference
Ten,
realignment.
SEC,
Yeah.
I had to even
matchups or
say,
Big
guys,
12
you're
stuff,
forgetting
like-
about conference realignment.
Yeah, Penn State. They historically haven't had a very good program,
Yeah.
so that wouldn't exactly have been a desirable non-con.
I'm sure
matchup to
Bob Brendel's
schedule.
going to fact check me and tell me I had something wrong there. He might.
They'll
We
bring
know he
it-
listens.
They'll bring it to you next game.
He literally listens because he's right outside. He's probably out there listening. So I got to come up with a good trivia for Prairie View A&M.
Prairie View A&M.
How many schools have we played that have A&M in their title?
That would actually be a really good one. You gonna deep dive or you gonna have a student look that up?
It's tough.
I don't use students to look up my information.
Oh, sorry.
But you give them experience
Yeah.
to look up your information.
The week before or the game before, we played VMI, and I asked if anybody knows what VMI stands for. One
Virginia
gentleman
Military
knew.
Institute.
Yeah.
Only one person knew
It was
that?
kind of a low key, quiet crowd that night. I said, "There's only one other school in Division I that has men's basketball, but does not have women's.
Oh, I don't think I would
Besides
know
VMI, the Citadel.
that.
They don't have women's basketball?
This is according to Wikipedia. I didn't put a lot of work.
It's always accurate.
You didn't actually check the Citadel website?
No, I didn't have time for that. Nobody got it right, so it's fine.
And speaking of trivia, I was introduced to the biggest time suck ever yesterday, and I'm mad at Connor Jordan for introducing this to my life.
Second Connor Jordan reference today on the show.
Have you? I didn't use his name earlier.
Oh, that was off.
Oh, was
that
that
was
off-
off camera.
offline?
That was
Yeah.
off camera.
Offline.
Sporkle. Anybody familiar with Sporkle?
Is that the water bottle?
No, it is a website. If you were to go to Google and Google Sporkle and then pick like some pop culture, like Friends or The Office or some movie or something, people have created quizzes about all these different categories. And so you can find anything. So like I did a Friends one yesterday, and you have
Friends is in the TV show?
Correct.
Not just like your friends?
No, I did it with my friend Connor about Friends, the show.
Yeah, Sporkle has a category for Loretta Jones's friends. What year did Tammy hit that deer?
Oh, I've got a deer story.
No, Loretta hit the deer.
Oh, yeah,
Loretta hit the deer. You have 15 minutes. There are 75 questions, and they increase in difficulty. There's
It's
easy,
like an AI
medium,
thing.
hard.
Did AI do this?
I don't know, but I did it, and now I hate that I know about it, and I will try it for all the things. He walked out of my office, evil, laughing. He's like, "You're welcome."
MAF getting a lot of work done these days. Sounds
Oh,
like.
stop!
I know as soon as we're done, and
No, Steve's gonna Google it as soon as we're done here.
yeah, I'll probably next time I see you, I'll be like, I've spent like 3.5 hours.
So what?
on
Yeah.
that this
So what?
weekend.
What would you Sporkle? Like, what's something that you feel like you know a lot about
It'd be
pop
like
culture wise?
1980s Cubs rosters.
I was honestly gonna say Cubs baseball.
I'm sure there is
I don't
one.
know. Chicago Bears.
Would you be good with like Chicago sports in general?
Maybe not in general. Probably baseball cards, which is kind of weird, but I'm pretty
Mizzou
good with that.
Storytellers guests.
So Sporkle, all Chicago Cubs quizzes. So many.
You mentioned deer. Should we tell the deer story of what impacted our children's school the other day?
There was an email sent out about it.
I know. So listen to this, producer Steve. So our kids go to Mill Creek.
Yeah.
and-
Shout out Cougars.
Yeah, and on Nifong, the night, I don't know what, Tuesday night, I guess, a deer got hit. And Nifong there next to Mill Creek, there's that slope, that hill that goes down. And I guess
So like the soccer field.
I guess
area,
the
yeah.
deer tumbled down, and the deer just found a nice spot on the playground to spend his last moments. So the kids go out to recess the next day.
Oh my
and
god!
the deer is laying
Nobody
there.
knew it was there.
Here's the worst part. The deer wasn't dead yet.
But its
Yeah.
back legs were broken.
Back legs were broken, so he couldn't get up and run away, or she.
But it was alive.
Yeah.
what was
So
the
it was a
first
beautiful.
grade?
It was a
What was-
beautiful.
I mean, my kid, fourth grade.
Fourth
went
graders
out.
saw it.
Yeah,
So-
my
First.
kid saw it.
So Will's in third grade, and his teacher was like, "There's something wrong with the playground today. It was perfectly good weather." So these 9-year-olds are like, "It's beautiful out. Why can't we go out there?"
Yeah, they said they had to have both recesses indoor, and I was like,
Yeah.
first of all, I don't want to hear about both of your recesses.
Yeah. Says the lady playing Sporkle in the office. So, they had to call the police
Yeah.
to Old Yeller the deer.
Because fun fact, animal control doesn't take care of deer.
Yeah.
They're wild animals.
Yeah.
So they called the conservation department and the police,
Yeah.
and they did.
They had a
Old Yeller.
discharge of firearm on it. I mean, it's not like they had
This is what
shots.
This
or-
is what Amelia told me. She said.
Well, I mean, Nurse Molly was
So
there.
I asked how it went. I said, what happened at school today? Knowing full well, because Amelia came to the basketball game with me. And I knew. I'm just waiting to see if she tells me.
Yeah.
She's like, I was like, well, how was school? It was good. Anything happen? No. And I was like, oh, really? And I was like, what'd you do? And I'm like, what'd you have for lunch? Like, I started this conversation. It's like, she's going to tell me, right? And she's like, oh, I forgot. And I was like, this is it. She's like, there was a deer that was in a lot of pain out on the soccer field, and the police came and they shot it. I was like, what? What? Because I hadn't heard the shooting part yet. And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not in pain anymore, though. I was like, well, that's good. And she goes, yeah, we didn't want it to be sad anymore.
Jeez.
I wasn't supposed to tell Will because we are just gonna keep it. He doesn't need to hear
He's
about
gonna
this.
find out.
So the next day, he's getting out of the car when I drop him off. He's like, "Did you hear why we couldn't go out for recess yesterday?" I'm like, "Yeah, there was something wrong with the playground." He's like, "No, there was a dead deer. Bye." And he gets out of the car. I guess he's all right.
Now all the kids can watch Bambi now and get over that.
Yeah,
big
yeah.
scene,
Yeah,
so.
but like,
They should have a new mascot instead of the cougar. They should have the deer.
It's awful. On that note,
It's going way down the.
All right, well, you can edit that part out along with Mitch's address.
I mean,
Are we supposed to?
no,
Prob-
Zillow it. Somebody might want to buy it.
I think you want us to. We don't
Yeah,
edit
I don't
this
want to. I don't want to get on his bad side.
Yeah,
So.
apparently not. He has a long memory.
He'll come at you, Steve,
Yeah, I
with
know.
that hand,
Well aware.
that finger.
Yeah,
He'd been waiting to tell you that for a little bit, baby.
I think so. Jeez. Okay, Loretta, our best Mizzou memories have yet to happen. This is Mizzou Storytellers,
I'm Loretta Jones.
and I'm Dave Matter.
We'll talk to you next week.